Last week I talked about the abomination that make it desolate. Uh, I said I was going to speak a little bit more about it because it's really a lot to it. If you really study the Bible and read the Bible and have understanding. Because when Jesus Christ talked about it in Matthew chapter 24, where I was at last week, about the abomination that make it desolate, in verse 15 said, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso read it, let him understand. You see, most people do not understand. Some of them said abomination that make it desolate. It could be like the Jews go back to animal sacrifice, bloods and goats and all that. Some of them say when the Antichrist stand in the temple and all that. That's not what it make them. When the Antichrist set up that image like Nebuchadnezzar did in Jerusalem, that's going to make the abomination that make it desolate. See? First, you're going to take away the daily sacrifice. That's why they're going to kill the two witnesses. Because the Bible tell you in Daniel chapter 7 and verse 21, it said, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, you see, and prevail against them. See, he's making war against the saints, and he will prevail against the saints. See, they're going to be killing the saints and throwing them. Some of them in jail, just like what Jesus Christ talked about. What's going to be happening at the end time. We read all about it. I read about it. We all know, you read Matthew chapter 24 and Luke chapter 21 and Mark chapter 13, you will know, because Jesus Christ speaking all about the end time. It's the same thing. Just talked about it sometime in a little different way, but it's the same thing. You can go to like Daniel chapter 8 and verse 12. Daniel chapter 8 and verse 12 and verse 24. And Daniel chapter 11 and verse 31. Then you can go to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 7. All right. Daniel chapter 8 and verse 12. You see, he's talking about the saints now. It said, and host was given him against the daily sacrifice. A host, it's an army. He's talking about a host can be a guest, and it can be an army. When he's talking about an army there. And host was given him against the daily sacrifice. See, the sacrifice in the New Testament are the saints of God. The daily sacrifice are the saints of God. In the Old Testament, it was animal sacrifice. Daniel prophecy is for the future, for the New Testament. See, when Christ died on the cross, there was no more animal sacrifice. See, some people can't get that through their head. The Bible says, we present our body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, and this is our reasonable service. The saints are the daily sacrifice in the New Testament, under the New Covenant. You got to understand that. Daniel prophecy was for the future. Now, if it would be like for in the Old Testament, then that's what they'll be talking about. Animal sacrifice. That's why a lot of preachers and prophets, they got the wrong understanding. Talking about it could be animal sacrifice. You're going to take away animal sacrifice. No, you're taking away the saints. You're going to be killing the saints and throwing some in prison, in jail. That's what he's talking about. You're going to be taking away the daily sacrifice. Verse 12 saying, a host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. See? Cast down the truth. Animals do not have the truth. See, the saints have the truth. See, you know, it's just really common sense. You know, you just got to think a little bit. Like I said, a lot of these preachers, like I said, they don't think. You know, you have to put the pieces together and think. You know, the Bible tell you to think. You know, like I think it's in Psalm someplace. Psalm, Proverb. It might be in Proverb. But I'll show it to y'all one time. One of these days, if God's will be the will of the Lord. All right, in 24 it says, and he's talking about the Antichrist. See, look at verse 22. I'm going to start in verse 22. He said, now that being broken, whereas four stood up for his 4 kingdoms. You know, we're talking about the United States. Home will be broken. Then after that, the third beast will come in. You know, for the 4 will stand up. That's when the third beast come in, and shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power, not in the United States power. And verse 23 says, and in the latter time of that kingdom, the latter time of the third beast, see, and when the transgressions are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance, understand of dark sentence, shall stand up. See, as the Antichrist, the false prophet. And verse 24 said, and his power shall be mighty. See, it says his power gonna be mighty, but it said, but not in his own power. See, about a 10-horn power. See, they give power unto those 10 kings. They tell you about all that in Daniel chapter 7 and in Revelation chapter 17 and verse 12. They give power unto those 10 kings. In 1 hour, they give power to those 10 kings. And it said, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. That's the saints. See, everywhere it's talking about the saints. The daily sacrifice are the saints of God. See, you see, first he got take away the daily sacrifice, and then he gonna set up the abomination that make it desolate. See, Jerusalem gonna be surrounded by army. See, and the army gonna make Jerusalem desolate. See, that's why the Bible says Jerusalem gonna go into captivity. You know, for 3.5 years. You know, you gotta go into all nations. You got scattered just like Nebuchadnezzar did. Took them away from Jerusalem. See, brought them into Babylon. That's how it's gonna be at the end time, the same way. But it was 70 years and went into captivity to Babylon the first time. But this time it'll be 3.5 years. Last 3.5 years. All right. See, his power gonna be mighty, but not by his own power, by the 10 horn and 10 king. See, he got destroyed, the holy. The mighty and the holy people. It's the saints, the holy people. All right, Daniel chapter 11:31. Let me see, Daniel 11:31 says, an arm shall, see, it's the same thing. Say, an arm shall stand on this part. See what we read in Daniel, a host was given to him, and like in Daniel 12, 8 and 12, a host was given him against the daily sacrifice, against the saints. See right here it said, an arm shall stand on this part. See, this reading is a little different, but it's the same. And they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice. See, you'll come against the daily sacrifice, the saints. And they shall place the abomination that make it desolate. See. See, they're going to place the abomination that make it desolate. They're going to set up an image. And, they're going to want everybody to bow down to that image or they're going to be killed. Because the arm going to be standing on his part. That army. See. Nobody want to do what that false prophet said, he ain't going to be killed. See. He be ruling them 10 kings. He be telling them 10 kings what to do. An arm shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice. They're going to take away the saints, be killing the saints, and they shall place the abomination that make it desolate. See, they'll place the abomination that make it desolate. They're going to set up an image. See how Nebuchadnezzar set up that image? Anybody want to bow down, his army, his soldiers, will take you and throw you into the fire furnace, have you killed. He don't be doing it himself, but his army, his people that he's over, that will do it. See. It's just like now. That's why that's why like Hitler took control over the governor and all that stuff, the mayor and all those people in high office. And Nebuchadnezzar did the same thing. He took over the judges. Hitler did that too. Took over the judges, all these people, like the governors and all that stuff, the sheriff and all those people that ruling the people in the province. He took over them. See. It's the same thing. Hitler did the same thing, and Nebuchadnezzar did the same thing. And the last beast government could do the same thing. And he could get control over the people. But then, like it's in verse 32, we see it's not the end yet. See, like in verse 31, he shall take away the daily sacrifice. See, he's taking away the saints. That's when they kill the 2 witnesses. You have to understand that. That's when that happened. The abomination that make it desolate, when they kill the 2 witnesses. And they're going to set up that image. You want everybody to bow down to that image. You see, because they couldn't do the 2 witnesses nothing before. You have to understand that. That God had power until they have to finish their testimony first. Then God allowed them to kill the 2 witnesses. But before anybody would hurt them or try to do anything, fire proceeded out of their mouth when they would be destroyed. See? But that's like I said, 31, that's when they killed the 2 witnesses. In verse 32, but the world was keep on going on. And these men be saying that the 2 witnesses could be preaching all the same time. The Antichrist be here when they set up the abomination and all that stuff, when they have the mark of the beast out. The mark of the beast is already out now. It's coming out more and more. Just like homosexual increase more and more. Violent, it's like fire, everything being increased. Hell, fire, mingled with blood. It was the first trumpet. And that's increased more and more. You'll see we having fire in the land now. Everything, violence, bloodshed. Hail. When they have stormy weather, we have hail, large hail. Pay attention. It was cast upon the earth, upon the people. But like in verse 32, it says, and such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flattery. See? See, you go corrupt by flattery. See, the world gonna keep on going on. The Bible tells you that, say, but the people that do know that God shall be strong and do exploit. See, the saints gonna be still here. The saints that are living, they're gonna be trying to correct the people, instruct them, to tell them that this is the Antichrist. This is the false prophet. It's the Antichrist. Instructed them how to be saved and stuff, and some of them gonna fall and be killed, by the beast system. Pay attention. You know. That's all I'm trying to show y'all. Just listen to these men be lying to you. In verse 33 saying, they that understand among the people shall instruct many. See? And yet they shall fall by the sword and by flame be captive, and by spoil many days. See? Many days. You know, you gotta have days later after they kill the two witnesses. A lot of people do not understand. You know, read the whole Bible, they don't have an understanding. That's all I'm trying to show y'all, to try to get y'all to understand. After they kill the two witnesses, the Antichrist gonna have, the false prophet gonna have full authority like over Jerusalem. So he didn't have full authority when the two witnesses was here. Couldn't do what he wanted. See, he was there when the two witnesses, but he didn't have full authority. You have to get rid of the two witnesses first. You know, after the two witnesses finished their testimony, then he killed the two witnesses, and then he had full control over Jerusalem. And Jerusalem went into captivity. But like you read, like in Daniel, Revelation, I done read Daniel 11:31. But he tells you all about it, you know, after they kill the two witnesses, like in verse 31. You know, like what you read in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 15. He said, when ye therefore shall see the abomination spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in a holy place, so read it, let him understand. That's when they kill the two witnesses. You know, and then when they kill the two witnesses, they're going to set up the abomination that make it desolate. Go to Daniel 12 and 11. It says, from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away. See, Daniel 12 and 11. And he said, from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away. See, the daily sacrifice, all the saints, see, they're going to be taken away first. And when they kill the two witnesses. And see, they're going to kill the two witnesses, and they're going to be killing the saints too. You know, because like now they start hating the saints now and putting them to death. You know, and stuff like that. Just like about homosexual, that's the main thing they will hate you for, put you to death. And it said, from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that make it desolate set up, you see. Abomination that make it desolate set up could come after they take away the daily sacrifice. And that shall be 1,290 days. See, it's 3.5 years. Now you can go to Revelation. That's all I'm going to go to. Revelation, Revelation 11. Revelation 11 and verse 7. See, I want to tell you about it. Revelation 11 and verse 7 said, and when they shall have finished their testimony, the beasts that are ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them, and kill them. See? So you're making war with the saints. They are the daily sacrifice. The two witnesses are the daily sacrifice, and the other saints. Anybody that are Christian, they are the daily sacrifice. See? That's all I'm showing you to get an understanding. See? Yeah, that Christ killed the two witnesses in chapter 11. You know, in verse 7. See? And the dead body will lie in the street like 3.5 days. See? Yeah. See? And then they're going to kill the two witnesses. And then they will set up the abomination that make it desolate. That's why I tell you in Revelation 13 and 15. See, they're going to set up that image. Revelation 13 and 15. They're going to set up that image and they're going to want everybody to bow down to it. And it's, Revelation 13 and 15 says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. See, like Nebuchadnezzar did. He's going to do the same thing, set up an image and want everybody to bow down and worship. See, sign that he have control, control over all the people, like Nebuchadnezzar time. Whosoever didn't want to bow down to the image, Nebuchadnezzar throw into the fire furnace. See, Shadrach and Meshach didn't want to bow down. Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego didn't want to bow down to the graven image, the image that Nebuchadnezzar set up. See, because they knew God's commandment not to bow down to any graven image. So that's why they didn't want to bow down. But the Lord was with them, That's all I'm showing y'all, Don't let these men deceive y'all. See, the abomination that make it desolate, that when they're going to set up an image, want everybody to bow down. All those people bow down in Nebuchadnezzar time. Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego. Because they were going to be killed. Then most people will turn away from God just to save their life. See? Same thing will do at the end time. Look how it is now, everybody worshiping homosexuality, saying it's okay and all that stuff. Even the Pope saying that, same-sex marriage union is okay, that they are children of God too. It's not true. They are children of God. Why did God destroy them in the Sodom and Gomorrah in Genesis chapter 19? See? God don't destroy his people. He brought Lot out, took Lot out. See, because Lot believed in him, like Abraham. He told Abraham if he find 50, he would save the city. I think he went all the way down to 10. Couldn't find it, so he had to destroy it, Sodom and Gomorrah. And he took Lot out. And his wife looked back. The angel told him not to look back. So his wife disobeyed. Looked back, she turned into a pillar of salt. That's all I'm trying to show y'all. But abomination that make it desolate when they got set up in that image like Nebuchadnezzar did. That's what they tell you in Revelation 13 and verse 15. I want everybody to bow down to that image that he and made, set up. History repeats itself all the time. That's the way I never thought America would be fall into homosexuality like it is now. Last 5-6 years, I fell away more. Most everybody believing that homosexual is okay, and they're all a lot of them being homosexual, and the little children got the little children changing their sex to be a little boy to be a little girl to be a little boy, and dress and act like a little girls acting like boys and boys acting like girls. A lot of grown up. Nobody never thought America was going to be the way it is now. But just to show you how fast it can move. But thank y'all, and may God bless y'all and give y'all wisdom and knowledge and understanding of his word.